Hey Frugal friends, today I'm going to talk to you about our Hong Kong budget and how much we spend a month here on fixed and variable expenses. So one thing to keep in mind is that we have our Hong Kong budget and we also have a home in America that we have to keep up on. So we also have a budget for there, and I am not going to address those costs in this video because one of the main reasons I'm doing this is so that you can kind of see the difference in what we spend here as opposed to when we go home and what we're going to be spending there. So just know that there are certain things, like homeowners insurance and car insurance and all these bills that we have at home, heating the home there, that I'm not going to be talking about here. So for our Hong Kong budget, I have it written down over here, and I'm just going to go through it with you. Three things that are not necessarily a fixed amount, but more of a fixed percent that I'm not going to give you numbers on, but I'm going to tell you the percentage that we use. The biggest, probably our biggest expense, if you can call it that, is our tithe or giving every month, and that comes off the top of what we make before any taxes or anything else come out, and that is between 12 and 15% on any given month. So we, at a minimum, give 10% to our church, and then we give between another 1 to 5% on top of that in charitable giving, and that just depends on the month and what needs that we see come up and what we feel like the Lord is leading us to give. So there is that amount. We also set aside 4 to 5% of our income every month into a separate savings account for taxes. In Hong Kong, your taxes are not taken out of your check every month, but you do get your tax bill every summer, just like clockwork, just like you do in the US. The tax year runs different here. It ends on March 31st instead of December 31st. So the bill usually comes due in summertime or early fall, and you have to pay all that they usually break it down into two payments, but we try to pay it all in one hunk. And like the US, it is a graduated system. Anyway, it's a graduated system. The max you can pay over a certain amount is 17%. We have never had to pay more than 5 or 6% total, and a lot of years it was only like 4% because we did have the kids for a number of years. And then also off the top, out of our check, is what is called here the Mandatory Provident Fund, or MPF, which is kind of like a combination between Social Security and a 403B. It is mandatory here. Your employer has to pay into it, match part of it. So we put 15% of our income into that, and that is taken out of our check every month. So then our other expenses are our rent. We pay 13,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is 1,670 US dollars a month, is our rent for our little apartment. Our grocery budget, I have been keeping track of our groceries now since 2018, and I just averaged in all of those, and our average spending has been $328 US a month for groceries. So I think that's pretty good. Our grocery bill includes all consumables also, so like all paper products, toilet paper, paper towels, that kind of thing, all detergents, laundry detergent, dish detergent, anything else in the cleaning department, toiletries, so shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, all that stuff, that goes into the grocery budget, and that average is $328 a month over the last 3 years or so. Transportation, which here includes the buses, the trains, and the occasional taxi that we get here, we spend an average between both Mike and I of $45 a month on those costs. These are US dollars, $45 a month US on that. Our internet we have with PCCW. Usually you have to get a 2-year contract to get the lower prices. We've been with PCCW, I think, since we started here, and we pay 258 Hong Kong or 32 US a month fixed for that internet bill. Our electric bill has been, I pulled up just recently the last couple years. There is some kind of a subsidy right now, and I think it's because of COVID. I'm not really sure, but the electric bill here is billed bi-monthly, and it has averaged out to only 24 US dollars a month since for the last 2 years, which is about as far back as I could go and pull it up, which is really, really super cheap. But even before the subsidy, it wasn't a lot more than that. So that's pretty good electric bill. And then we have gas, natural gas, and that just heats our water heater and a 2-burner gas stove that we have in the kitchen. That is also a bi-monthly bill, and that averages about $13 a month when you split it. And then my cell phone bill, I use Birdie Mobile, which is a subsidiary of SmartTone, and it is only $70 a month Hong Kong or $9 US a month for 2 gigs of data and unlimited text and talk. And honestly, I don't even use that 2 gigs of data because most of the time when I'm using my cell phone, it's somewhere where I'm connected to Wi-Fi, so it doesn't actually use a lot of data. And I've added in here health only because we don't pay for our health insurance. Our school pays for that, but we do have to pay deductibles when we go to the doctor. And since we've been here, we've both had, I had some questionable skin lesions removed. We've had to buy glasses, so we've had to pay. That's not under the health insurance. I had to have a tooth repaired. So over the last couple of years, I just averaged out what we've spent, and it actually averaged out to $87 a month that we've paid, which it seemed high to me when I saw that number. But actually, when I looked back at what we've really spent, that's pretty reasonable. And I feel like as an ongoing expense, when you think about dental things that happen, or just we're getting older, stuff that we have to pay out, that also includes like a few vitamins that we buy and any kind of over-the-counter meds that we pick up. I include that in this price. And then we also spend about $100 to $150 a month eating out. So as a rule, we eat most of our meals at home. When we're on break like we are right now, we go out to eat a little bit more. But we do go out for a date night every Friday night. Higher here than in the US, with the exception of McDonald's, which is surprisingly cheaper. So that is our budget, and I'm always fascinated to hear what people spend in other countries for things. That's pretty much what we spend here. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.